How's it going, everyone? It's Rick here with UTVSource.com, and this is a 2018 Turbo R XDS. It's a 64-inch model. Doesn't look like it, but it is. And this one's a pretty cool build. Just to let you know, everything that's available for a 72-inch model is available for the 64, and the vehicle is actually a lot less expensive to buy. So there's a couple big benefits to a 64-inch model versus a 72. One, you can go on trails that you can't get into with a 72. Also, they fit in a trailer or a toy hauler easy. It's like hitting the easy button. And if you didn't know, you can get everything for a 64 just like you can a 72. You just go on the website at utvsource.com, boom, it's gonna ship to your house. It's that easy. It really is that easy. The owner of this vehicle, believe it or not, he's in his late 50s, early 60s, and he wanted a hot rod. He's got a hot rod now. He just doesn't know it. This thing's a beast. So let's get into the build, show you what we've got going on, and what's available for your 64-inch XDS. Okay, so right off the bat, you're gonna notice it's got a brand new cage. This is the Fabworks Baja Aggressor cage. And it's one of my go-to cages when customers call and ask, hey, what do you guys offer? Well, we offer all the Fabworks cages. This one's the Baja Aggressor. And when I mean Baja Aggressor, you can option this cage out like crazy. This customer decided not to do window nets. He doesn't need them. He's not gonna be driving that crazy. So we went with the Baja Aggressor cage, which comes with the doors. And what's really unique about the Fabworks cage is, if you notice, it ties down here. It actually supports the door, so I can hang on it, right? I'm 145 pounds. I'm hanging on this door. And I can't hang on too much longer because I'm not that young anymore. But check it out. Another cool thing, you notice there's no point on the door that jabs you in the belly. Customer didn't want that. You notice right here, it's a separate panel that's Zeus tabbed in to the plastics. Fills that void. Everything's taped, everything's powder coated. Nice hardware. Everything runs Zeus tabs. That's why these cages are expensive. Another reason, you notice the B pillar right here. It's boxed, it's TIG welded, it's overlay plated, it's strong. So if this guy rolls his car, he's gonna be fine. Now he plans on taking his wife and himself on some trails. I don't know his driving level or skill set, only he knows that. But I do know that if he wrecks or puts this car on its lid, he's gonna walk away. You'll notice the roof rack. It's curved with the cage. It bolts in 4 spots. You can take it off. Super easy. He opted for the rear wing, which houses a KC Highlights rear chase light bar. Super important if you're the guy in the back or in the front, people can see through the dust with those lights. He's got the Baja rear bumper with the spare tie down. You can carry a full spare, the weight is down low and out the back. The car's gonna handle better and it's easy to get in and out. Ties into the rear radius rod plate. It just looks awesome. It's a neat little car. All the cages will come with a bracket here for your lights. This customer opted for the KC Highlights Pro 6 light. It's kind of like the standard. Plenty of light, cool bracket, pre-tabbed out. Done. You don't need an additional bracket to put a light on. It's a well thought out cage. Very nice, very safe. The welding is better than most. The customer also opted for a rear shock tower, double shear brace, or a bracket. It's an option on the website. And what that does is all the load that's being transferred through the rear shock, which relies on 2 small tabs, is now transferred into the cage as well, because that bracket overlays and the bolt goes through there. So it's very stiff chassis now. Really nice cage. close-up of that bracket. It's universal, guys. So if you want to add a light, you put this on the other side and it opens up. So it'll accommodate different light bars, different sizes. This is an option on the roof rack. Now, if you don't order a roof rack, you will not see these tabs. So what I want to do right now is go through a few close-ups on this cage and the functions. So this is the Baja Aggressor rear bumper. You can see it comes off here. It has a tube clamp that bolts in. It splits, just so you know what that means. What this bumper does is it holds a spare. It also does another thing. See down here on the bottom, it lands on the top two radius rods, bolts. This customer already had an S3 radius rod bracket, and we went ahead and ordered up the ZRP high clearance radius rods. Just like the 72-inch cart, you can get them in the 64. What I really like about this, it's made in the USA, it's machined, it comes with FK hardware, and they're already adjusted. It's a pretty cool cage. You can see it all on the website. Every option's available. If you have a problem, contact me. I'll get right back to you. Let's move on to the suspension. Okay, so when the customer dropped off the car, the wheels and tires were already on it. What wasn't on it was all this brand new HCR suspension. So this is the Dual Sport HCR 64-inch stock replacement kit. Had it powder coated in black. You can see everything's TIG welded. It's overlay plated and boxed internally. You can see all the internal gussets, all those welds. That's the boxing inside. This arm is not gonna give the customer any problems. He's gonna be able to just rail on this thing. What's really cool about the HCR kit is it reuses all your stock factory hardware. So all your ball joints are going to fit right in, as well as the spherical bearings. So we reused the factory ball joint, and the kit will come with new Darling inner bushings on the upper and lower arms. You can see the pocketed shock. So you may notice we upgraded him with a new tie rod. This is the ZRP tie rod. Again, made in the USA, high quality, billet machined with FK rod ends. Now you may be asking yourselves, why is there orange torque check seals on there? Well, that's when we're done. We just make sure everything's locked down and we dab it. So if those bolts come loose, the customer will know he needs to check his bolts. It's preventative maintenance. So one thing we went ahead and did on this vehicle was we flipped the shocks, because these reservoirs are always inside. They're inconvenient to adjust. So we push them to the outside. It got cut out here so when he hits full bump, these reservoirs aren't smacking into his fenders. We also went ahead and installed this awesome ZRP shock tower brace. There's no difference in the shock tower brace from a 64 to a 72. Again, made in the USA. Really awesome tool paths from the machine work. Just looks great too. Cage is dialed, suspension's dialed. Let's move on to the lights, right? This customer came to us with a few of his own lights already on. He already had this bumper on. Just shocked myself. That's AstroTurf. That hurt. So this was the customer's bumper. He already had the bumper in there and the winch, and he had these lights on there already. So we didn't change anything. He really likes it, and that's great. It has a cool little skid plate, neat little worn winch in there. We ended up rewiring everything for him though. But in addition to these lights that he already had on the vehicle, we added the Casey Highlights Pro 6. That's his long distance light. So they're gonna beep, and we're gonna do like a little pan shot of the light. KC highlights, lifetime warranty, can't beat it. So go ahead and edit that. Anytime now. Just get to it. Pretty neat, huh? The KC Highlights Pro 6. So after the car was built, customer came on, requested more light. So I recommended this, the Rigid Industries light, because he wanted a side view mirror. So let's kill two birds with one stone. This is the Rigid mirror. It's got a light in it. It'll take a hit. It's adjustable. And you can see what's behind you. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So let's do some of that editing magic and just do a pan shot right now. All right, so that was a great pan shot. Onto the back. Again, the customer had his own. Ow! Ow! Fuck. If you have AstroTurf and you're walking around with shoes, you'll get shocked when you touch something. That just happened. Again. The customer supplied these lights, so we put them back on, per his request. But in the rear, we added the KC Highlights rear chase light bar in the optioned rear chase light wing from Fabworks. So what this does is you have your running lights and brake lights, you have your amber, and in your two center ones are your backup lights. So let's go ahead and show that right now. Right now. Let's move to the inside. He wanted super comfortable seats, so I went with the PRP GTSE model. There's a lot of models out there, guys, so just make sure you check into them all. I went with this one for a couple reasons. One, it does allow a 5.3 harness, which is this right here. 5.3.2, 2 inches in your shoulders, 3 inches across your waist, and your fifth point ties into the latch and link system for quick and easy access. Back to the seat. Couple reasons why I went with the seat. Obviously, I just went over, it accepts a 5.3 harness, but let's talk about that real quick with the seat. These harnesses can't pull off your shoulder. They do not wrap around the seat, meaning you can't slip out of these. That's a safety issue. That's why this cutout is here. It's also easy to take the seat out if you need to. Everything slides through. Marine grade vinyl and suede, black stitching. He's a little guy like me.
I'm Tiny Rick.
So you can notice the harness slots are down low. It's gonna pull over his waist and hold him in his seat. It's a suspension seat, paracording, meaning the seat's going to act like some suspension for you. It does not have extremely high bolstering. It's just enough to hold you in and be comfortable. One of the reasons why we went with this seat. He does not want to struggle getting in and out of his vehicle, and I'm sure his wife doesn't want to either. These are all the things you need to think about when you're ordering seats with us. Now, as you can see, he's got a lot of upgrades inside. The car came to us with an already existing full-blown Rockford Fosgate sound system. When he ordered his radio off the website, it's gonna come in the X3 package to mount up here. Well, that didn't work for us. So there's a couple options when you guys are putting in your radios. You can mount the radio kit behind the grab bars, which is always just hard to reach all those little buttons. So we cut those out, and on the site, you can buy this front faceplate and the side plates. So we went with the RM60 car-to-car communication, which is this right here. Has all your channels and frequencies to talk to other vehicles. Below that is a 696 kit. So that's Bluetooth. That's your car-to-driver and passenger communications through your headset or your helmet kit. Customer opted for the helmet kit. He's going to install those himself. It's also Bluetooth. You can play Pandora or whatever you want to stream through there, and you can take your cell phone calls. It relocates the start-stop button down. Super easy to install. So another thing up on the dash you're going to notice is the Evo exhaust. That's the shocker button. Listen closely. That little noise is the actuator in the exhaust. Let's turn it on. That is the factory exhaust. That was the shocker side dump. So, we went with the side dump for a few reasons. One, this car got the full stage 3 kit from Evo. It's all on the website. You got the clutch kit, the spring kit, the weight kit, and we went with the shocker exhaust system tied into the factory exhaust. His wife's probably not going to want to hear the loud noise, but he may want to. So what this does is it comes in off the turbo, it attaches to the factory muffler or any aftermarket muffler, but when you hit the button, this actuator right here opens the flap or the valve, and it's straight from the turbo out. So he's gonna gain power there on his tune, and if he has to go somewhere where they have a decibel rating that must be met, he hits the button and it's quiet just like factory. Another thing we went with, as you can see, is the Assault steering wheel. Really nice steering wheel. He's a little short guy like me, so we went with the Assault hub adapter and the quick release. So when he parks his side by side and he's on a trail, he can pull that back, pull the steering wheel off. Granted, he's gonna have to take this off, but it's all Velcro. He can move it around and put it where he likes it for comfort. This is a Switch Pro system. Now, he asked for this exact system, so we gave it to him. We do have them on the site. Consider this more of the Motec of switches. So as you can tell, it's all labeled. It's a push keypad and it'll strobe. It's a really, really, really clean build. I think it looks aggressive. It could use a few more things, but it's enough for him to get out there and start ripping. All right, everyone. So that's the walk around of our customers' 2018 Turbo R XDS 64-inch model. He hasn't seen this build. You guys are actually seeing it before him. He's out of the country. So the car got built while he was gone. Pretty cool. We went online. I created him a custom checkout. He needed some help. He had questions. We answered them. Everything got shipped to the installer, just like it would if it was being shipped to your house. Car got put together, and it looks amazing. Him and his wife are gonna have a lot of fun in it. I can't wait to deliver it to him. Pretty stoked on it, pretty stoked. For a little 64-inch Can-Am, it's a beast. Check us out on Instagram at UTV Source, our stories. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you didn't know, we have an affiliate program. Get in on that. There's a lot of people taking advantage of that. It's working out to their benefit. Read up on that, check in on that. It's pretty cool. It's meant for you and your buddies to do some cool stuff. And you might get a check from UTV Source. There's that. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. There she is.